Judah, and Carlos. These are today's judges on the Fantasy Tournament game show where anything can happen, anyone can win, and you never know who will show up next. It's anyone's game, filmed live at WhimsyCon 2023, with your host, Rob Bourgeois. And me, because Rob didn't record a proper intro. One by one, the players are given 4 characters to choose from. They pick the one they want to see compete, and the rest get tossed aside. If they don't know them, don't like them, or just don't want to pick them, they can ditch up to 3 times, each time with 1 less to choose from. Then we spin the wheel and put them where they land. If it lands on a resolve match, we keep the wheel moving until we find a free spot. If the spin results in a match, we draw the contest randomly and then argue about who wins. But only the judges' votes count. Our previous champion Lydia Dietz is waiting at the top of the wheel. She will be our 32nd and final contestant. Now for some ground rules. We're assuming the contestants want to win, but not that they need to win. No matter the events of the previous match, contestants enter the new match at 100%. The contestants known for carrying gear will have their standard loadout available to them. And cheaters never prosper. We always catch them, and they are disqualified. Bypassing the task or excessive violence beyond what is stated in the contest counts as cheating. And now, over to the show.
Let's go ahead and get somebody picked, shall we? Alright, Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Larry the Cucumber.
Right, Larry the Cucumber. We've got Nazim from the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Oh, absolutely.
Alright, Emperor Cusco from the Emperor's New Groove. Alright, Fezzik from the Princess Bride. Kevin 11 from Ben 10. Kevin 11 versus Nazim. And the contest is a 100-meter dash.
Who's Nazim?
Nazim is the obnoxious guy in Skyrim. He's the one in Whiterun who asks you if you've been to the Cloud District very often.
And obviously you haven't.
So I've seen a lot of Ben 10, but I don't know a Kevin 11.
He's one of the primary rivals in the original series, Ben 10, and then he kind of becomes one of Ben's best friends later on.
He's like the Zuko.
Oh, he's the grungy one.
Yes.
Oh.
So this is a foot race.
Yeah, 100-meter dash.
So he's not using his car.
No.
I'd have to almost go with Nazim because there's a lot of stairs up to Cloud District.
Yeah, but he never actually goes up there.
Well, not
doesn't he
that
live?
you've seen.
Also, Nazim has a weird glitch where he doesn't go to his home to sleep, he just sleeps in the street. He's not a healthy guy.
I mean, he's from the streets. He knows how to win a street race.
Have you ever seen him run?
I've never seen Kevin 11 run either.
Yeah, but
Probably
I mean,
not.
he
They
has
do kinda
he
have
can
to run
turn
a
into
lot of
other like
That's
monsters,
true.
right?
Yeah.
So in Alien Force and like Ultimate Alien, he can absorb something that he touches, and like, say he touches metal, his skin turns metal.
That's right.
So if he touches a fast thing, does he turn
He
fast?
just kind of mimics the material
Yeah.
of the thing, not the composition of
So it wouldn't help him run much.
Not
If he touched the car
necessarily.
tire, he could become bouncy and have great traction.
That's
He
he is athletic.
I don't feel like
He's always
traction is the
chasing and
issue
fighting
here.
Ben 10.
A
So.
good pair of tennis shoes is all the traction you need.
Yeah, but Nazim's like kind of pampered. Like I don't think he's
I agree. Nazim is kind of pampered. I don't know if he's exercised a day in his life.
Right.
I think Kevin Levin, he clearly works out. He's in shape. He's running all over the galaxy.
Alright, that's Kevin.
Oh god.
Alright, Gur from Invader Zim. Gur versus Fezzik.
Oh, all right.
Bull riding.
Oh wow. Okay.
Fezzik would probably break the bull's back.
Yeah, I don't think. I think Fezzik would be disqualified before it started.
Yeah, honestly, I really wanted Fezzik to go far, but for me, Gur
has
just
that, like,
crazy
energy.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he would just
And-
hold on for dear
And
life.
I'm sorry, we've seen Gur ride pigs a lot, so
So I think
there is.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, Scotty.
Yeah.
Trisk Marigold from The Witcher. Trisk Marigold versus Emperor Cusco. Onion chopping.
Oh, no way Cusco can chop onions.
No, Cusco's never worked in a kitchen in his life.
Neither has Trisk.
Yeah, but Trish could use magic to cut these.
And Cusco can use servants.
Oh!
You can't use servants.
No?
That would be cheating.
So someone can use magic, but they can't use servants.
Right, because magic is part of their own power. Servants are not.
Well, his whole thing is that he's an emperor.
So I would have to argue that a servant for an emperor is their own power.
Standard loadout for an
An
emperor.
an emperor has no power without its people. That is what makes an emperor.
Think about by the end of An Emperor's New Groove, he's kind of found a little bit of humility. Maybe he'd chop an onion.
Yeah, my main argument is if the main power of a wizard is magic, the main power of a ruler is people.
Now, I don't
They
know.
still have to. They still have to accomplish the task themselves. They're not allowed to delegate.
I guess it would be different people.
So even if we assume she's not using magic, can you imagine he would get through the first cut?
No.
Plus, Triss lives on her own.
She
Has to cook her own food.
She doesn't seem like she's too prissy, too.
Yes, she does. What are you talking about?
I feel like that's more
She
of
is
a-
one of the finer sorceresses.
True, but still lives on her own. Still makes her own food,
She
probably.
could just avoid onions.
No.
She just eats salads and hamburgers.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to chop any of it.
Yeah.
I don't like this, but I hate logic.
You can vote your heart.
I can't though.
Alright, looks like you're ready. Alright, that's 3 votes for Driss.
I hate myself. It's got to be Duncan MacLeod. He fights other people to the death and cuts their heads off.
Oh, dang.
Get their power.
But only other immortals.
Most of the time.
Nice,
Right
yep.
away.
Yeah.
Sokka.
Alright, Sokka from Avatar The Last Airbender.
I don't think it's as good
Sokka
as
versus Scotty. Penmanship.
penmanship.
Oh no. Okay, first of all, has Scotty ever actually written anything?
Yeah, I don't know. We've seen Sokka write stuff.
Right.
He took like classes from that swordsman.
But he was never good at them.
Now,
But
Scotty.
can Scotty even do it?
And even if he can, Scotty's an engineer. They have famously terrible handwriting.
That's true.
Now, in the time traveling movie, Scotty's the one who mistook the mouse as a microphone, right?
Correct.
Hello, computer.
Just use the keyboard.
So here's my thinking. I don't think we have ever seen anyone in Star Trek, from at least the original series, write anything.
In your case, it would be about here.
Well, I think we've seen like an engineer hold a thing and have a little stylus.
I don't think so. I think they just do this.
Oh.
Especially Next Generation and on. I don't remember the old show, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone write anything.
Here. Paper? I've never worked on paper before.
The opening line of your novel. Write it down.
I've never worked on paper before.
I can't remember them do that either.
Plus,
but
Sokka's pretty much a prince of the Southern Water Tribe.
That's
While that's true, I don't know how that...
no. His penmanship was poor, but at least we saw it.
Yes, I agree. Like, I have to go with evidence of I've never seen Scotty write anything.
Alright, 3 votes for Sokka.
You're on thin ice, Saga.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't think about that.
Alright, Ellen Ripley from Alien.
Ooh. Someone's gonna be like, excuse me, in episode 36, Scotty wrote a lot.
Leave your comments down below.
Just because I would love the matchup, yeah.
Alright, the Kurgan from Highlander.
Oh! So close!
That is very close.
And I think this is on a completely different bracket, so it really don't mean this if they both complete all
Yeah,
of the
I know.
Oh. Yeah, it was literal millimeters from a rematch of the movie.
At least
the
it's
Kurgan
funny.
versus Donatello. Wabbit season.
What is Wabbit season exactly?
Hunting wascally rabbits.
Yeah.
Basically, so there's a field. They each have a field that is infested with wabbits.
Okay.
And they have to remove the wabbits by any means necessary.
Okay.
Kurgan.
No, I would
No?
disagree. Donatello is the inventor and the ideas man. He would come up with a faster way than using your sword. Like, can you imagine Kurgan running around every single rabbit trying to get them, where Donatello, like, sets up a net on the turtle van to just get them all?
A rabbit call, something.
But
Yeah.
like, how
Is
long would
Kurgan
that
not like
take?
a... You don't think he could hunt effectively?
Okay. We're talking about a field full of rabbits, and all
Wabbits.
he had wabbits, and all he has is a sword. Yes, he could do it, but it would take days.
All he has is a sword.
I'm not sure if it would take days.
How many wabbits? Give us a number.
Let's say it's about an acre field, and there are 50.
Oh, yeah, I think Kurgan for sure. I think it would take Donatello way too long to
Yeah.
I would have to disagree because he's would the turtle van be considered part of his standard equipment?
I wouldn't think so, but his staff would.
His okay. The Kurgan, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The Kurgan versus Gur tag team wrestling. That's Gur and Fezzik versus the Kurgan and Donatello.
Oh.
Fezzik in a wrestling match.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I have to say Fezzik in a wrestling
Now
match.
it is tag team wrestling, so you are starting with Gur and the Kurgan, and they have to be in the ring for at least 15 seconds before they're allowed to tag.
Okay,
But
so
it's just wrestling, so it's not trying to kill each other, no weapons.
I think
weapons
like
or no
chaos,
weapons.
It would be no weapons on this one because it is just it's like a pro wrestling kind of thing.
So here's the thing: we've seen Gur take an enormous amount of abuse.
Another thing I want to point out is that it's not wrestling is not just winning; it's also showmanship.
Right.
Oh.
And Kurgan is not showy. Kurgan is very just I'm gonna kill people with brutality.
Yeah.
Whereas Gur would spend the time running around him talking about tacos, which is
And occasionally pelting him with one.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Fezzik
Yeah,
and as soon as Fezzik comes in,
Fezzik wins.
Fezzik wins. So
I mean,
I have to say
Donatello's a ninja who's used to fighting very large opponents.
That's true.
I'm not so sure it's necessarily a...
Well,
appropriate
he's
for
just
Fezzik.
like fighting, not wrestling, you know?
Well, he's training all kinds of things.
He's a
ninja.
So
pretty beefed up ninja.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing to consider. Fezzik's one weakness, as we saw in the movie, is fighting one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
But if Fezzik gets tagged in and takes on both of them at the same time, Fezzik wins.
I'm not...
It is a tag team match, though. So if
I'm
Fezzik
sorry,
gets
I watch
tagged in,
wrestling. They end up fighting both of them at the same time all the time. Because someone will sneak into that ring, and that's how you get double choke slams.
How did Fezzik lose to...
He fought one-on-one.
Right, but it wasn't wrestling.
Well, it kind of is. It was a sleeper hold.
I guess so.
And honestly, Donatello is just as agile, if not more, than Wesley.
I would have to agree.
And
the thing is,
also clever.
I can't see Kurgan killing Gur, but certainly I can't see Gur killing.
So
Gur taking out Kurgan.
Here's my
have
thing.
to tag out.
No, no. I can see Gur taking out Kurgan. Gur all the time has flipped super heavy things over his head. He's a cartoon. He does all kinds of crazy things.
So in my mind, Gur's rules would work similarly to like Deadpool, where it's just if it's amusing for the viewers, it happens.
Yes.
Cartoon logic comes up often in this.
And also, I would say that while it is a tag team match, I would rely more heavily on the two that are still in it. And I think Gur would be Kurgan. Gur is made out of Gur is made out of a super alloy that I don't even think his sword could cut even if he used it.
Yeah.
And Gur can pull all kinds of things out of his head. And while we say no weapons, I'm sorry, things like chairs and foreign objects are used in wrestling all the time.
Okay, so let's say so let's say Gur beats Kurgan.
And now it's
Donatello beats Fezzik.
Donatello beats Fezzik. So Gur versus Donatello is what decides it.
I think it's honestly, I would think that Gur beats almost anyone simply
If
because
anybody
of
could beat a
cartoon.
robot,
Also,
Donatello's a robot.
Yeah,
Donatello knows technology.
Yeah, but he knows technology. He might feel bad damaging Gur. He might see the impressiveness.
But could he turn off or short circuit or get around Gur?
Here's why I think Donatello might, because Donatello's fought a lot of Mousers, which are about Gur's size. But a Mouser is not Gur. I think that if Gur went into battle mode, he's winning.
Sounds like you guys are ready to vote.
I think so. I still like. I think Fezzik would do better against Donatello.
All right, let's see him. All right, Gur and Fezzik.
The Loch Ness monster.
All right, Nessie.
All right, we're gonna go.
All right, Bill Overbeck from Left 4 Dead.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
All right, Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbs.
Oh,
versus Nessie.
Versus Nessie.
Yes.
Giant spider wrangling.
Oh, I already know my answer. Easily, I think it's Hobbs. Like Nessie, what does Nessie do except for look like a log in the water?
Yeah, we don't actually know what Nessie's skills are.
Yeah, I mean, even if you assume Nessie is a plesiosaur.
Also, you got one secret weapon that Hobbs has, which is that he changes the rules to suit his needs, as the Calvin Ball match would teach you.
Also, like, it's spider wrangling. Nessie's relegated to the water.
I would also suggest that that Hobbs probably has experience. Like I imagine Calvin and Hobbs have done spider wrangling.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
All right, let's see him.
Well, they are both
Alright.
imaginary. We know what Hobbs can do.
Yes.
We don't really know what Nessie can do.
They can't even pose for a picture.
Yeah.
Okay, this is really good.
Uh-huh.
I want to go Chekhov, but I think I need to go Superman.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yep, good.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
We haven't really had a major disagreement yet.
We haven't, not really.
Captain Jack Sparrow versus Ellen Ripley.
Oh.
Latchcomb.
What?
Latchcomb?
You ever seen The Orville? Yes.
Okay, I say Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
That is such a Jack Sparrow thing to happen.
Man, that sucks because Ellen Ripley has too much of a like.
All
She would
right.
never let that happen to herself.
Captain Jack Sparrow versus
Like the second he gets the ball, it's gonna stab him.
Make that Captain Jack Sparrow and Ellen Ripley versus Sokka and Scotty. Dungeon delving.
So Jack Sparrow and Ellen Ripley have experience with dungeon diving type
And
things.
surviving monsters.
And surviving monsters. Whereas while Sokka has lots of experience too.
In combat.
Scotty is an engineer, can help with traps for
It's
sure.
true.
Well,
Sokka also as an engineer of sorts. And
Yeah,
with
there's
traps.
a power team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Ellen Ripley and Jack Sparrow succeeded almost everything they try and do in the end. Whereas Sokka fails more times than he succeeds, as much as I love him.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what makes him great. But
Yeah.
My worry is that Sokka and Scotty would spend their entire time theorizing.
Yes.
Whereas Jack Sparrow would bumble into every trap, survive it, and Ellen would just follow him.
Okay, I think we all
Set up all the
know. We all know if you had to bet on one team to make it through the dungeon, I think we all know we're betting for Sparrow and Ripley.
I agree.
I totally agree.
Captain Jack Sparrow versus Gurr. Make that Captain Jack Sparrow and Sokka versus Gurr and the Kurgan. Ghost stories.
Oh,
Jack is telling stories to Sokka. Gurr is telling stories to the Kurgan. Who gets a better reaction?
Oh.
Oh, dude. Okay, Sokka
has
is gonna be
more
like
fun?
entranced.
Yeah.
Captain Jack's gonna make up all kinds of wild or some of it real, and Sokka's just gonna be there like, oh my god.
And then not only that, like while I think Gurr might come up with some crazy stories, the
Kurgan's just
Kurgan
gonna
would
be
not
pissed.
care.
He'd just be a statue.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Yeah, I have to. Okay.
I don't think there's any advantage against
yeah,
it.
it's on something, but
Oh. Jeez.
oh, you gotta. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
I don't know if there's nothing
Saitama
better.
from One Punch Man.
I know which one I would do.
I'm going first.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Professor Hubert J.
Actually,
Farnsworth from
Futurama might be up there
Futurama.
to one of my like favorite animated shows.
Futurama is really good.
Agreed. Oh. Oh no! Oh
All right, I guess we'll go with Duncan.
No.
Alright, Lieutenant Commander Worf. Worf versus Bill Overbeck. Staying awake.
no! That Worf.
I don't really because like if you're in a zombie apocalypse, like staying awake might be one of your top priorities.
You're talking about an old man versus a Klingon who would consider it on his honor to succeed.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I.
Alright, 3 votes for Worf.
Ooh. Yeah.
Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Brennan Lee Mulligan from College Humor.
I think that's the only real person on that board.
Yeah, I saw Vin Diesel go by earlier.
Right. But he's the only real person so far on the board. Okay, now there's
Alright.
2 real people.
Snoopy from Peanuts. Snoopy versus Superman.
Superman!
Grand Theft Auto. The crime.
I think Snoopy's more willing.
No,
Yeah, Superman won't.
Superman won't do it.
He just won't.
He could, but he won't.
Yeah.
Snoopy absolutely would.
Superman are good if the stakes were high enough, but I don't think the contest is high stakes.
No.
No, remember, it's they can, but they don't have to.
And Grand Theft Auto as a crime, right? So like,
Yeah. So as a crime, so
Alright.
it's Snoopy.
Yeah. I really wanted Superman.
I can't believe Snoopy just beat Superman.
And like that too.
Yeah, like it wasn't even a question.
Snoopy versus Tris Marigold
okay.
in a tug of war.
Okay, I think
Tug of War is
true,
time.
but like when you play tug of war with the dog, you never
Okay,
lose.
here's the thing. Snoopy, you know, you might lose depending on the breed of dog, but Snoopy's a beagle. No one's losing to a beagle.
And Triss has magic.
If she resorts to it, that's pretty sad.
That's true.
So would Triss have the I haven't played The Witcher. I don't know. Does
Triss
she have
is athletic.
strength?
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
pretty.
athletic.
She's fairly athletic.
All right, 3 votes for Triss.
Again, I don't like it.
Nice.
All right, Yzma from the Emperor's New Groove. Yzma versus Larry the Cucumber. Origami.
Larry doesn't have hands.
That's never stopped him before.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
he's never tried to do origami before.
All of the
He's picked things up.
veggies in VeggieTales like wield stuff, like they.
Yes, but I have to
telekinesis.
argue,
Well,
wielding
they tilt
is
it.
not complicated folding of paper.
Yeah,
in
it's
these
the
shows.
dexterity.
And Yzma has very spindly fingers.
That's
Very-
true.
Yeah.
But
And we already saw that she can do origami when she made the llama look like a skull.
oh, you're right. Oh,
Accidental, but still.
Yep.
Yzma versus Commander Worf. Wii Sports.
Oh.
okay. I think I might go with Yzma on this one, just because like Wii Sports doesn't matter how strong you are. It's all about just like making just like being better at the video game.
Just getting the motion sensor to pick up the motions that
Yeah,
it wants.
Yzma would be sitting on the couch just flicking her wrist.
Whereas Worf would be trying to do
Worf
this.
is Worf is a total tryhard.
I love Worf to death. He sucks at everything.
Yeah.
He is really bad at everything.
Except for staying awake.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And pain tolerance.
All right, let's see him. All right, that's 3 votes for Yzma.
I could almost even make an argument that Kronk should be part of Yzma's regular.
Dang. All right, Megamind. Megamind versus Duncan.
Okay, 2 people who are villains and evil, but not actually.
The contest is Luigi's Balloon World. So in Super Mario Odyssey, there's a side, like a whole side game that you can play. You talk to Luigi, and he'll put a balloon somewhere, and you gotta go find it within a certain amount of time. Or, you can go hide a balloon yourself. So you have to run around, and there's parkour and climbing and all that involved, and also you have to be on the lookout for the balloon.
Duncan does so many different games on the island.
Are they playing the video games, or are they
They are
in
physically in the game, hunting down balloons.
Megamind is not a physical being.
No,
And Duncan does regularly get very far in Total Drama.
That's
I don't know Duncan very well or at all, but I would say that Megamind's weakness is that he would try and overthink it.
Yeah. Build a balloon detecting thing.
Yeah.
Or, well, if he has his piranha, as Beck can call, that's a giant swarm that can just go out and
Oh,
find.
that's true, and that would be considered part of his main kit, because that's his whole thing. He's a supervillain. I would, you know what?
That's not bad.
Would their piranhas be able to swim through the air?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
do.
They can fly through the air and make big versions of himself. They can do all kinds of things. They're like little mini swarm.
Yeah, that's true. He might not do it himself,
But he never did anything himself. Yeah.
Right.
And he built the piranha. So
But this is also up Duncan's alley.
Yeah, Duncan I think would be better at it than most people without swarms of flying piranha.
Alright, that's 2 votes for Megamind.
that's
First disagreement.
Yeah, that's our first split vote.
Alright, Kaylee Fry from Firefly.
Is that the last one?
Yep, they're going to be all matches from here on.
Ah, yeah.
Bob from Reboot.
I just love that you know Reboot.
Bob versus Professor Hubert J. Farnsworth.
So what does Bob do?
Bob is a computer program that, so in the world of Reboot, when you sit down at your computer and play a game, you are playing against the computer who is Bob, and Bob is trying to beat you, the player, to save his people.
And
So basically, whoever the player was, whoever played that computer in that show is the worst video game player of all time because they never won anything.
Anyway,
So
the
Bob will
contest is maniacal laughter.
Oh,
Bob loses.
Yeah.
And Professor
Yeah,
Farnsworth's
the
gonna
evil
go to that.
scientist, or not evil, but the scientist.
He's evil.
But
I'm sorry,
Professor
Bob.
Hubert J. Farnsworth versus Megamind. Pole vaulting.
Well, the professor is a million years old.
And
and
Megamind
made
would
of
definitely have learned how to pole vault
Yeah, I
just
feel
for the
like-
dramatics of
I feel
it.
like Megamind would definitely know how to pole vault. However, there is like a 50% chance he would fumble the landing.
But at least he'd not break all of his bones.
That is true. That is true.
I feel like Farnsworth would find out you can't cheat though, that you have to do the pole vault.
Well, so we have seen Farnsworth be amazing at skiing while completely asleep. Like, he's doing tricks and shit and and just snoring. Although I'm not sure that you can run and pole vault while asleep.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
So,
yeah,
I think...
Battle of the Minds comes down to pole vaulting.
Let's see him.
Megamind.
All right. Megamind versus Tris Marigold. Modeling.
It's gotta be Megamind. It's gotta be Megamind. It's like his favorite hobby, like Vogue.
He is so stylish and cares about his looks, his appearance, and he's got them curves,
His
you know?
villain outfit has heels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he definitely practiced
presentation.
I would even go so far as to say just to be that guy, Megamind would use his disguise to look like Tris Marigold and beat her at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go with the White Rabbit.
It's the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh.
The White Rabbit versus Kaylee Fry. Campfire starting.
Oh,
You have to start and maintain a campfire for at least half an hour.
I did not think the
I
White
love
Rabbit.
the White Rabbit.
I do not think he is capable of this.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever done that.
He
in his
is a
life.
nobleman.
Yeah.
I do not think he is capable of this. I think he would. I think if he got any sort of fire going, he would set himself on fire.
Where I've
He
been
is
losing that
inherent-
money, Kaylee started a
He is
campaign.
inherently both a nobleman and a rabbit.
And in Firefly, Kaylee goes to backwater planets all the time, right?
Well,
She grew up on a
Firefly
farm.
is
Yeah, that's true.
it's a space western, so...
Yeah.
All right, let's see it. 3 votes for Kaylee. Kaylee Fry versus Hobbs in a transcontinental car race.
I gotta go for Kaylee again.
She's an engineer.
Yeah.
Okay, but Hobbs is also the stuffed tiger, and he can do whatever he puts his mind to.
But he's not very good at certain things,
Actually,
too.
I think that's except drive.
Yeah, I don't think Hobbs can drive. I don't think Hobbs can drive a car.
He's always,
Right, there was a canonical thing about him not being able to drive.
Hobbs' limits often seem to be very similar to Calvin's limits.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
suspicious. We should look into that.
I don't think Calvin can drive either. So.
But someone needed to argue for Hobbs, so I did my best.
Hobbs becoming very confident about the advice he would give about driving, but it would all be terribly wrong.
And while I would go so far as to say as Commander Spiff can fly ships, we've never seen Hobbs do it.
Yes, this is true.
All right, that's it.
Spiff can crash ships.
3 votes for Kaylee.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair enough.
Kaylee Fry versus Yzma. Chess.
Does Yzma actually know how to play chess, or does she just have everyone convinced she does?
Let's assume for a second that chess is like something that exists in the kingdom of the Emperor's New Groove.
Well,
So
they do have a mechanical floor waxer.
they do have a mechanical floor waxer. They do have a trampoline salesman. Chess is not off the table.
No, it's not.
We can also assume that the contestants will be explained the rules and have a few hours to practice.
I think that Kaylee would not be amazing, but I think that Yzma would be way overconfident in her harebrained strategies that won't end up well, and she'll blunder a bunch of pieces.
But she doesn't usually blunder. Usually her plans fail because she relies on Kronk.
Well, but also
She's pretty strategic.
Well, but she doesn't think ahead. She doesn't think 3 steps ahead. She thinks step next.
She's also incredibly unlucky.
Well, no, hang on. There was that one time when she said she would put something in a box and put that thing in another box and then mail it to herself. That's like 5 steps.
And then smash it with a hammer.
Yeah. So that is thinking ahead.
Did it work?
No.
She ended up doing something else.
Wait. So yeah, she would think ahead, but it wouldn't work. Whereas Kaylee can keep an entire ship falling to pieces with duct tape.
But once again, her schemes failed because of Kronk.
Not entirely.
At pretty much every turn. When she went to poison him.
A llama? He's supposed to be dead!
Yeah, weird.
Let me see that vial.
You know, in my defense, your poisons all look alike. You might think about relabeling some of them.
But that's her decision to rely on such an unreliable person.
But she doesn't have that option here.
I would say that it'd be a tough one. Kaylee would be interesting because given that she's always on backwater planets, I'm sure she has spent a lot of time playing board games like chess.
Oh, wasn't she
checkers.
really good at gambling games in one of the episodes?
I don't think so, no.
No.
But I imagine that she spent many a night at a campfire playing chess.
Or even just on
Think
the
about-
ship while
Yeah.
nothing's
The
happening.
thing about
Just travel.
Yzma and Kronk is that they are the classic evil, smart guy, big guy duo. Yzma needs Kronk to do things like dispose of the llama.
That's actually a good counter to your argument. While it's true that most
Yeah.
of Yzma's plans are defeated by Kronk, Yzma can't do anything without Kronk.
But she can play
Yeah.
chess.
Yeah, she could definitely play chess without him.
I think they'd
Yeah.
both be okay, but Yzma would end up just losing due to unluckiness and like being too confident.
Or
The
trying
thing
to
is,
cheat. Or
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
cheat.
Yzma is
carrying a terrible karmic load.
She is, at her core, a cartoon villain, and so that everything she do will fail at the last second.
Also, I just thought that she would also try and cheat.
Yeah, it would look like she was about to win. It would look like she was about to win, and then like somebody would like come in with like a freaking Aztec video camera and be like, actually, we caught you eating the pieces when Kaylee wasn't looking.
I'm gonna stick with what I said earlier in that she'll be way too overconfident and try crazy things
Yeah.
and then blunder a bunch of pieces and then get really, really angry when that happens
Yeah,
and just tilt.
yeah, that's fair.
So
yeah.
I'm going with...
Alright, let's see it.
Kaylee.
Alright. Kaylee Fry versus Captain Jack Sparrow in a cringe competition. So it's kind of like stand-up comedy, except they're trying to make the audience cringe.
Captain Jack Sparrow literally has a jar of dirt.
Yeah.
Guess what's inside it?
And Kaylee is so endearing, she couldn't possibly make people cringe.
Yeah, she like the cringe would come from like secondhand embarrassment of
For
Kaylee
Kaylee.
doing something that's like but yeah, Jack Sparrow, is he like uncringeable? Like can he do stuff that's like you expect him to so you don't cringe?
I think that all of the cringeworthy moments that happened with Kaylee in Firefly were because of, what's his name?
Simon.
Simon, thank you. Were because of Simon. Simon did something cringe, not Kaylee.
Yeah, the only thing is though is that Jack Sparrow is inherently funny. And it's hard to make people cringe when everything you do is comical.
He is like literally the worst pirate that one guy's ever heard of.
But you have heard of him.
Yeah, like I did hear of
Yeah.
him.
So I can't imagine, I don't remember many things in the first 3 movies, because we don't count everything else, that makes me cringe from with Jack Sparrow.
The cringe comes from like somebody trying to do something good and failing, right? Like or something bad happening to them when they weren't expecting it. But with Jack Sparrow, it's like anything bad that happens, Captain Jack Sparrow, anything bad that happens to him, kind of like it's expected. It's,
Now,
you don't cringe.
There were a few lines when Kaylee even made Mel Reynolds cringe.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, if Kaylee went out there to try and be funny, I think she would win the cringe contest because
She is not a funny
she's
person.
not exactly what you call a funny
That
person.
is true. That is fair. Just
When
tell
she
it
came
it's a
out in
stand-up
that
comedy
pink
show.
dress, that pink frilly dress.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Oh,
for her.
actually, yeah, that was really cringeworthy.
That was
that whole fancy party.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Alright.
I convince myself otherwise. Like I feel like I'd cringe harder.
Kaylee's
Alright,
in the final.
Kaylee cringes into the final.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Shark Boy from the Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl in 3D. Shark Boy versus Brennan Lee Mulligan. It's Scrabble.
I'm not sure Shark Boy's literate.
Yeah, that's not even.
Also, Brendan Lee Mulligan is one of the most competitive people out there.
And he's actually got more than halfway on You Want to Be a Millionaire.
Hey, everybody wait for Brendan.
Brendan Lee.
Alright, 3
No
votes for Brennan.
No question.
Brennan Lee Mulligan versus Kevin 11.
Sorry, which one's Kevin 11?
He's from Ben 10.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Levin.
Kevin Levin from Ben 10. Why did they call him that?
Because it rhymed.
Because in the
Why would his parents do this to him?
because in the first series, he actually also had an Omnitrix that would allow him to change into
11 different aliens.
11 different aliens.
I have no memory of that. I just remember him being the guy that had the run my hand along.
That's
stuff.
later. Brennan Lee Mulligan versus Kevin 11 in Mediation.
Oh my god.
It's gotta be Brennan
Sorry,
Lee Mulligan again.
Kevin is a teenager with anger issues.
Yeah, he would.
Brennan Lee Mulligan is an adult man with like a successful career in life.
He's a dungeon master.
Yeah, looks like
our judges are ready.
And a
Let's see
good
it.
one, so.
Alright, 3
Mitigation's
votes
his
for
job.
Brennan. Alright, we need another character. Alright,
remember
Gus
anything about any
Griswold
of
from
the
Recess. Gus Griswold versus Duncan MacLeod. table setting.
Duncan MacLeod is used to high society.
He's an immortal. He's a plenty. He's got to learn all kinds of etiquette.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Gus is a kid. Alright, looks like you're ready.
Duncan MacLeod. Even if that's true, and I don't doubt it, Duncan MacLeod has been in front of royalty and gone to those kinds of things, so...
Current champion Lydia Dietz versus Saitama.
Who's Lydia?
She is from Beetlejuice.
Oh, okay.
Rubik's Cube solving.
It's gotta be Lydia.
It's not
It's
Saitama.
gotta be
I
Lydia.
don't know who
Lydia.
Lydia is, but Saitama would try to solve it and just crush it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lydia is actually a very intelligent teenager.
Yeah, I feel like.
Plus the rule of funny.
Yeah,
you ever
it's like-
see those videos of somebody like turning a Rubik's Cube that has too many segments and it just disintegrates in their hands?
Yeah, even if Saitama didn't break the Rubik's Cube, I feel like he wouldn't like get it. Not because he's not smart and not because he can't do like fine detail work or whatever. I just feel like it wouldn't be as funny for him to win.
Well, also he's very lazy, so he'd try it for a bit and then just give up. Lydia.
3 votes for Lydia. Lydia Dietz versus Duncan MacLeod in an oil change.
Does Duncan MacLeod know what a car is?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's been around cars since they were invented.
Okay,
so.
I never.
Versus the intelligent teenager.
Yes, but again, it's unfair because he's an immortal, but he has owned and worked on cars.
Would Lydia really have had like any like reason to do her own oil changes?
She was a very artsy goth teenager.
I don't think Lydia would have had any reason to be doing anyone's oil changes. Is the thing.
Duncan MacLeod.
3 votes for Duncan. Duncan MacLeod versus Brennan Lee Mulligan in a gubernatorial campaign.
A what?
What is that?
What?
They are running for governor.
Oh, gubernatorial.
state?
I heard you say goop-natorial.
The word is gubernatorial.
With a B.
Yep.
Yes.
So
I can't say it's one of the weirdest I've seen, but it is certainly a way to spell things.
Since I'm the only
like
person who
thinking of our
remembers
governor as,
Duncan
like,
MacLeod,
chief
I will say that he is not the orator that Brendan Lee Mulligan is. He is good, he is charming, but he is not the wordsmith.
Also,
But-
everyone on the internet loves Brendan Lee
But
Mulligan.
what state are they running for?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter who's getting your vote.
Yeah.
I don't know.
3 votes for Brennan. Governor Brennan Lee Mulligan versus Megamind in a filibuster.
Oh, it's gotta be Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Really?
Does
I don't
it?
know though.
I
They're
feel like
both very good at dramatic.
They're both
They're
their
both,
strengths.
they're both very good at talking for a long time. I will give them that. I just feel like Brennan Lee Mulligan has more to talk about.
I don't know.
But it's a filibuster. Like,
okay.
he can talk about random crap.
Megamind can certainly monologue.
Yeah.
He can give his villain speech. But can he just talk about
Wait,
Can he do
which-
it on the fly? Can he come up with random stuff and never stop?
Which
Yes, I
filibuster
think so.
rules are we working off of? Are we working off of it has to be on the same topic, or are we working off of the just keep talking?
Just keep talking.
Just keep talking.
Come on in, join.
Because I think that they can both come up with really
Yeah.
amazing, well thought out intellectual
Yeah.
rants.
Who can last the
fly.
longest?
That's
So here's the
What's the
problem.
most mental fortitude?
Here's the problem.
to
I would
filibuster?
choose the person whose entire job is to talk, which is both of them.
Yeah.
So I don't.
To be fair, Brendan Lee Mulligan does tend to go dead silent when he gets hit with something that he's not prepared for, or something completely out of left field.
But in a filibuster, it's just the person talking.
No one's
one
gonna
else.
hit you with anything.
I would put this up maybe to breath. I'm not sure Megamind has very good breath control. I mean, sure, vocal range, but like endurance, I mean, stamina.
I also would say that if we go by in their universe, Megamind is the best supervillain in his world. And I don't know if I would call Brendan Lee Mulligan the best at his craft in this world. Certainly
But,
one of.
but what does that have to do with the
I
filibuster?
don't know! I don't have anything else! I could flip a coin at this point. They're so good at it.
Both of them would get fatigued eventually.
Yes.
Just
Alright,
who
someone
would get
convince me,
fatigued
because
first?
someone
I don't know.
I mean,
I
if
think
all
Brennan
else fails, Brennan Lee Mulligan can start talking about the different kinds of birds and start listing them off.
No, but he doesn't
There's
know
one
anything
factor.
about
There's one
birds.
factor we've not thought about yet, which is their individual levels of competitiveness.
They're both very
They're
competitive.
both very competitive.
True, but Megamind would get tired eventually and go to bed.
Do you think?
Brendan Lee Mulligan
No.
would not stop.
I don't think Megamind would either. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
Megamind is so
Are they
motivated.
just the same person?
Alright, I'm ready.
Okay.
I think I'm
We
ready.
ready?
Alright. Let's see it.
Brendan Lee Mulligan.
All right, 2 votes for Brennan, 1 vote for Mega Money. Brennan talks his way into the final to face Kaylee Fry. Now, in the final, first to win 2 matches takes the championship.
Oh, okay. Best of 3, huh?
Sort of.
Sort of.
That is best of 3 rules.
But there are some interesting things that can come up. That probably won't, but they might come up.
Yeah, there's a reason I say first to 2 and not best of 3. First contest is caber tossing. You got a log, right?
Oh, the Highland
you pick up one end of the log, stand it up vertically, then get down to the bottom and chuck it.
Alright, I think Kaylee probably has more experience doing these kinds of like weirdly physical things. It sounds like a farmyard activity.
Yeah, engineering is a very physical job, and I don't think I can say that Brennan Lee Mulligan's job is that physical of a job.
Kaylee knows what a post holder is for. She handles posts.
So I feel like just in terms of like daily activity, Kaylee probably has more muscle mass built up. I don't know what Brennan Lee Mulligan's physical stats are. That's not my business.
He tried really hard.
He'd be very competitive about it.
He'd tell you the history of the Highland Games.
Alright, let's see it.
Kaylee.
3 votes for Kaylee, alright. It could end here.
Why couldn't Saitama gotten that one?
The next match is a mock trial.
Uh-oh.
Brennan Lee Mulligan is representing Megamind.
Oh.
And Kaylee is representing Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh man. Mulligan would have.
The thing is, Megamind like literally saves the city at the end of it, so Brennan could like present that as like character evidence that he's like a good guy actually.
Not only that, but if anyone's ever seen the game show he's on, he's actually played the part of the lawyer extremely well.
Yeah.
Until his clients.
Yeah, I think Kaylee would not be good at crafting an argument.
No.
And look at who she has to defend.
Yeah, that's hard. And defend somebody who's almost indefensible most of the
To
time.
be fair, the universe does not want to let Captain Jack Sparrow go down for anything.
No, he'll go down, he'll just escape jail.
Yeah, that is the thing.
He'd lose the trial.
Yeah, he's been on the chopping, like the whole, he's already lost.
Alright, looks like you're ready.
Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Alright, 3 votes for Brennan. Last one, marbles.
Oh.
Marbles?
A game of marbles for all the marbles.
Really? This is what it comes down to.
There's Squid Games in here?
We're talking about marbles like flick the big marble into the smaller ones.
Yeah, you do that, and then any of the smaller marbles that you knock out of the circle, you get to keep.
Don't you just feel that's a
I
game
think
Kaylee's played before?
Yes, 100%, like multiple times. Like I think
This is so anticlimactic.
it is. It's so funny that I think Kaylee would just like, she would see this game and be like, you're done. Like,
I'm not disappointed in the outcome, but
Alright, 3 votes for Kaylee. And she becomes our new champion.
I did not see that coming.
Sorry, Brendan.
Kaylee out-marbled Brennan Lee Mulligan and threw cabers better than he did. She out-cringed Captain Jack Sparrow and outplayed Yzma at chess.
I am working on drawing that. It's not going well.
That was my ending monologue. Now I gotta start over. Alright, Kaylee. Okay.
Kaylee out-marbled and out-cabered Brendan Lee Mulligan. She out-cringed Captain Jack Sparrow and played chess better than Yzma. She drove cars across the country better than Hobbs and made a better campfire than the White Rabbit. That's why she's our champion. She'll be back next time because it's still
anyone's game.
Anyone's Game was a production of Raspberry Grenade Games, copyright 2023, all rights reserved.